Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. With you here on demand Tuesday through Saturday. Of course, our goal is to get you 6 picks from 6 cappers. So make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us build up our audience, and hit us with that thumbs up, that like. And we always welcome your comments. Tell us what you think about the picks, and give us your picks. More than welcome to do that here in our comments. So let's get the show underway. We'll begin here with Rod Zawacky. Find him over at Pick Dog Trim. Rod, what's happening?
No, not too much, Tony. Hey, looking to kickstart the new month and hey, the new week, as they say. I hope everybody had themselves a good long weekend as we head into Tuesday's action. Looking forward to it. We got one in the diamond for you here today, so let's kickstart the week of winning, getting you a winner here.
It's our exciting week as we'll welcome NFL to the fray this week, but we got baseball still here during the week. It's going to keep us busy. We got, 5 months of data, so we're going to put it to use here. Reds hosting the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays $1.10 around the opener, total of 9.
Yeah, you look at this one here. We got Barrios on the bump for the Blue Jays here, and hey, man, he's been Mr. Solid. The Blue Jays have won 5 of his last 6 starts, 8 of the last 10. The Blue Jays have won Barrios starts, and Barrios out on the road. Hey, he's been not bad this year. 5-3 with a 3.4 ERA, a nice little 1.2 WHIP, 57 strikeouts, 21 walks for Barrios on the road. Definitely solid numbers there. And you look offensively, hey, this Blue Jay squad interleague play, they're hitting about 279. Well, the Reds in interleague play this year only hitting about 225, and we've seen the Reds have been slumping offensively as well over their last few games, so struggling. These are games that the Blue Jays can feel the Yankees coming behind them. So when you throw it to the bullpens, interleague-wise, almost even. Blue Jays in interleague play, their bullpen's been 3.86. But we know recently it's shot up a little bit because they blew a couple against Milwaukee over the weekend where, hey, that's definitely going to shoot up that bullpen ERA. And then the Reds, their bullpen interleague play about 3.6. So for me, I think the offense will be a little bit too much here for the Reds as I think they get to Lodolo, who's on the other side here for the Reds. And I definitely don't trust Lodolo in this spot. You've seen his last start out, which will be his first start. He faced the Dodgers, gave up 4 earned runs in that start, and then I think this will be his second start back. And now you got to face the Blue Jays squad that's been hitting the ball, especially over the last month, last week. Blue Jays offense has been up from that 279 number, more around the 280, 290 mark. They've been smashing. I think they hit Lodolo early and often, and the Blue Jays get themselves a win here in Game 2 of this series.
All right, Rod here will be on the Blue Jays here. We're coming in about $1.10 in this one. Yeah, this Reds team really hit the skids here ending the weekend where they've had trouble picking up wins, and they really needed them because they're in this big hunt here for the wild card.
Yeah, right. Reds definitely trying to look for wins themselves to try to hang into the playoff race, and we know what the Blue Jays are doing, trying to hang on to the division race as well. So big series for both these teams. So, hey, for me, it's I think the Blue Jays get themselves a win here with Barrios. Got to give the Blue Jays the nod starting pitcher-wise. Bullpen-wise, it's almost even. Better offense goes to the Blue Jays from what we've seen down the stretch, and that's over. Even before the weekend, the Reds' offense has been a little bit suspect. So, give me the Blue Jays here. Bats come to life for the Blue Jays as well. I like Bo Bichette to smack a home run as well.
There you go with Rod here on the Blue Jays -110. This one begins at 6:40 Eastern time. All right, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Prim here for the card here on Tuesday. Of course, Major League Baseball on the board. We got the W heading to a week of NFL football for your long-term subscribers. You want to keep an eye on that. What you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And for me over at Pick Dogs Premium today, it's Tuesday, so hey, we're going to tackle the books like we always do. I'll have a couple plays in the MLB, playing the W for you as well. So definitely make sure you head on over, scoop up that daily pass. Those are the guaranteed packs. And hey, once you have a winning day with me there, then go to look 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. Because long-term is the way to go. It's that time of year. So many sports that overlap here. Just think we're 3 weeks away from starting to see some NHL as well. So, hey, that 30-day pass will get you right into some preseason NHL with me going forward as well. We know NFL starts this week as well. So you want to jump on board something long-term here at Pick Dogs. Take advantage of that 2-for-1, 3-for-1. 4-for-1 capper promotional. Nothing wrong with having 2, 3, 4 cappers here at Big Dogs going to work for you and getting you some extra cash to build that bankroll. So definitely head on over. Don't forget, pick a checkout. Save 15% off as well.
That's right, Galbo with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dog Spring. Use the promo code Pick and check out. Save that 15% off. Of course, use the long subscribers the way to go with those long-term passes. Way to roll there with Rod. All right, Rod, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you soon.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tony. Shout out everybody. Let's make it a win to start the week of September. So looking forward to September's action here. So let's make it a good night. See you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Rod Zawacky here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Up next, Brian Bitler. You'll find his screenplays over at Pick Dogs. Man, boy, he's had a great past 12 months. Man, he's on fire here. Let's bring him right now. WNBA action today as we close out the regular season. Brian, what's going on?
Well, I'm hoping the month of September will be better than August. It was a 50-50 August for me, but, when you're having a good 365, sometimes you have a month that doesn't go your way, but that just means I'm due for a nice hot streak with the start of NFL just around the corner. And we're not going to give up on WNBA and Major League Baseball as we close those out.
We have all this data. We put our hard work into. You got to use it. You can't just throw it out. You got to use it. And it really comes down, Brian, to time management, right? You got to just manage your time. Okay, this is my block of hours for baseball, then the rest and so forth down the sports. That's how you really got to do. You got to have really good time management this time of the year. This separates the professionals from the average Joes is how you manage your time. Managing our time. Let's get to the WNBA here. Fever at Mercury. Important here for both teams. Fever looking to try to get in the playoffs. Mercury looking for seeding advantages here. Mercury at home laying 6.5, total 165.5.
Yeah, for one of my best free picks on the board on Tuesday, I'm looking at the WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury hosting the Indiana Fever. Even without Caitlin Clark, most likely, the Indiana Fever are usually bet heavy. Tuesday night, I don't see anything new happening here. Mercury, though, are gaining steam, winners of 4 straight games as they make their final playoff push. You get the Mercury 12-8 against the number at home this season. Fever 6-1 straight up last 7 head-to-head. So still payback in mind for this Mercury team, even though they beat the Fever last time. They got a lot of payback after losing all those games to them. 3rd straight road game for the Indiana Fever. All in all, I think it's going to be a rough night for them. I'm going to take the Phoenix Mercury and lay the points here on Tuesday night.
All right, we got Brian here going to take care of the Mercury, lay the 6.5 here in this one. As we talked earlier, we'll give you the scenario here. Right now, looking at the Mercury, there are 3 teams tied in the loss column here for the number 2 seed: Aces, Dream, and Mercury. And of course, in the 8th seed, you've got the Sparks, Fever, Storm, and Valkyries. Out of those 4 teams, only 3 can make the playoffs.
Yeah, Phoenix is, more of a veteran-oriented team. I think they're going to make a run once they get in, but you got to get in to make your run, and the seeding is what's going to matter here with home games, especially for Phoenix.
You got a lot of short series in the playoffs in the WNBA, so really home court advantage is even more important as when you have these short playoff series.
For sure, you definitely do not want to be on the road. Seattle's one of those teams, if they can get in, they got that nice home field advantage normally. Seattle's burned me a little bit this season, but they're much like the Denver Nuggets, I believe, as far as home court goes.
There we go here with Brian here on the Mercury lane, the 6.5. This one will have a start time here, 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Frame here for Tuesday. Big card for Major League Baseball. 14 games on the schedule. Of course, action from the W, but it's a big week of football, right? College football. We got a full slate from NFL coming up this weekend, so this is a great time for those long-term subscriptions. So, Brian, we can see his results here over the past 12 months. 3,133 units of profit. That's all based on $100 unit wager size, and verify that right over on the handicap, over on Pick Dogs Premium. Link in the description. Land here. You'll see Brian's link right here on the page, and you'll be able to verify all those numbers as well as purchase his premium. So let him know what you got over there at Pick Dogs Premium.
Well, every day you can get my best bet titanium at pickdogs.com. Just $25 gets you that selection. By Tuesday, I should have my NFL titanium up for Thursday night, so make sure you guys check that out. Last year, not the best season in the NFL as college football was my thing, but I'm definitely due to get out of the gate fast in the NFL, and if you guys want to tune into that on Tuesday, I'll have a titanium winner for you in Major League Baseball. So head on over to the website. Maybe pick up that all-access football pass, $8.95. Use code PICK at checkout. Save that additional 15% off.
That's right, guys. Got it with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dog Stream. You saw the link. You know how to get there. Get to Brian's page. Get signed up. And, of course, the multi-cap promotion available as well. So get on board with Brian. Long-term subscriptions, the way to go with all these sports overlapping. Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. All right, Brian, as always, great having your show. continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again later in the week.
Great hanging out with you. How about those Miami Hurricanes? My hometown Temple Owls got it done, put a beat down on UMass. So definitely looking forward to more college football action, and I'm happy to be here with you, and thanks for having me.
All right, Brian Bitler here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Up next, Joey Tron. You'll find him over at Pick Dodge Rim. Major League Baseball action here for Tuesday. Joey, what's going on?
What's going on, Tony? Happy Labor Day. How you doing on this beautiful Monday, September 1st?
That's right. Coming Monday for the game on Tuesday here, as I'm looking forward to Major League Baseball. We'll get to it here as we have the Mariners and Rays head-to-head. Here right near opening, we see the Mariners $1.10, total 7.5.
Yeah, I'm looking at the under here between the Rays and the Mariners. I think this is a solid pitching matchup between Brian Wu and Drew Rasmussen for the Rays. Wu is going for Seattle. He's had 3 straight unders, allowing 2 earned runs or less in all 3 of those starts. Not only that, but Seattle is 9-5 to the under in his road starts this season. Wu has also gone 6 or more in 6 of his last 7 starts, which makes me even more inclined to take this under, knowing we won't have to deal with the Mariners bullpen as much. Going the other way for the Rays is Drew Rasmussen, and he's 11-4 to the under in home games this season for the Rays. He's allowed 2 or less in 9 straight starts, and he's also gotten 6 innings or more in 4 straight. So being able to not have to worry about either of these bullpens definitely makes me inclined here. So I like the under 7.5 here.
Yeah, from Joey. Joey says go ahead and go under in this one, the Mariners and Rays. And Mariners had a really tough month of August on the road. The batting average wasn't very good either, whether they're home or away. So it's been kind of a team like Seattle happy to see the month over.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said earlier, I just think being able to have these pitchers go longer definitely helps my cause here. Like you said, they're not hitting the ball that well, and the longer Rasmussen goes, the better it is for us.
Absolutely here. Joey here, Mariners, Rays, under total 7.5. This one will have a start time here of 7:35 Eastern time. All right, Joey, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Prim, heading a big week of action. Of course, 14-game card for Major League Baseball for the Tuesday action in the W, but we got a lot of college football, NFL season beginning Thursday, so a lot of great action coming up for this sports week. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, I'll definitely have some Week 1 NFL action dropping later on today, in addition to Week 2 college football. And if you use the code PICK, you'll get 15% off any of my single-day plays.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Joey Tron over at Pick Dodge Premium. Great time to get that long-term pass with all those sports overlapping. Multi-cap promotion also available. So get on board with Joey Tron over at Pick Dodge Premium. All right, Joey, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again later in the week.
Have a good one, Tony. Thanks for having me.
All right, Joey Tron here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Up next, Kirk Stuart. You'll find him over at Pick Dodge Premium. Major League Baseball coverage here for Tuesday. Kirk, what's happening?
Not much. How you doing?
Doing great. Looking forward here this week. Of course, a lot of baseball, football now in the fold. NFL kind of starts. A lot of these sports overlapping. I know your world is always upside down here with especially add soccer to the mix. So a lot going on. But today, Major League Baseball on tap for Tuesday. Giants and Rockies in a West battle here. We see the Giants big favorites here, 240, total of 10.
Yeah, let's just say I'm excited for football and basketball and maybe even soccer to be a play on this because I'm over baseball season at this point. But today, with not too much going on this Tuesday, I'm going to look here on the Giants versus Rockies. I'm looking here at the over. Kyle Freeland is 3-13, and he has just been eaten up all season long. He's been giving up runs left and right, 8 combined runs in his last 11 innings. I know Logan Webb has been good, but if you see a Rockies game over-under at 10 at home at this point in the season, you got to fly over. 10 out of 10 times this is going to go over the total. You've seen some 11.5s, almost 12s. I get Logan Webb will probably have a pretty good game, but I'm going to take the game over, and I also don't mind the Giants team total over 6.
There we go here from Kirk here. Says go over here, Giants and the Rockies. And one thing to note here about this Giants team is somehow, some way, they found their bats. I don't know what took so long.
Yeah, I mean, definitely waking up right now. They have 6 runs at the end of the 6th as of the recording, and yeah, they seem to be waking up and making that late season push for definitely.
That's right. Still not out of contention. Still, even though you thought they were sellers, they're still in there with a shot. And if they continue to get hot, we'll see what happens. You never know because a lot of times in these wild cards, these teams that are ahead usually fall back down to the pack. It's never runaway. It doesn't seem to be a runaway in these wild cards, unlike the divisions here. Giants Rockies over 10. This one have a start time here, 8:40 Eastern time. All right, Kirk, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium here for the card here on Tuesday. Of course, baseball on the board, 14 games action from the W. Head into a big week of action. Soccer, of course, Kirk specializes in as well. Football as well. What you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I mean, big start to the month, honestly, with football coming back on Thursday. Tonight I had one MLB play. It already cashed. We had the Red Sox -1.5. So, yeah, I had a pretty good weekend as well. A lot of soccer coming up. So, basically, this is the time of the year I love. NBA's about a month and a half away. NFL's this week. So, up on something long-term right now, which will give you the best value.
That's right, best value there from Kirk. A lot of sports coverage from Kirk. When you get into soccer, there's a lot of coverage there. So your long-term subscriptions are your best time to start here. 7 day, we'll get all of Kirk's plays here for this week. Of course, the football, the soccer, and more. So get on board, use the promo code PICK, save that 15% off. Multi-cap promotion, save even more when you add cappers to your shopping cart on the long-term subscription. All right, Kirk, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Kirk Stuart here on the Drive Thru. All right, let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Up next, Jovan Burts. You'll find him over at Pick Dog Shrimp. Baseball coverage here on this Tuesday. Jovan, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? How was your weekend?
Weekend's great. Looking forward to this week. Of course, a lot of football, NFL coming up aboard, but still got a lot of baseball. Hey, we spent 5 months handicapping this. We're not going to stop now. So let's get to the games here. Big one here as the Yankees are on the road here to face the Astros. We see the Yankees, it's around the opener here, looking at $1.18. The total coming here at 7.5.
Yeah, and the Yankees coming off a 7-game winning streak. I got snapped on Sunday. But you know who's doing well that wasn't doing well for like maybe a 2-month span? That would be Max Fried. He's finally showed ace-level stuff in his last 2 starts. Couple starts ago against Boston, gave up 1 run. That was the only run in that game. They ended up losing that one. But he came back in the next start after that and pitched 7 strong. 1-run ball. Actually, that Red Sox game, he didn't give up anything, so it wasn't on him. So that last start against Washington, 11-2 wiped down by the Yanks. He pitched a gem, and this is the time. It's September, and this is where guys like him, top level guys, aces, this is where they perform. This is where they go down a home stretch into the postseason and make it happen. He's one of those type of guys, and he's facing a team in the Astros. I had a little brain freeze. The Astros, who they're perennial left-handed killers. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one shapes up on that side. On the other side, we do have Rambo Valdez, and he's been struggling as of late. Last start was a good start, was a quality start. But prior to that, he was giving up crooked numbers, let's just say that. And I think the Yankees might get to him. Not going to say they're going to blow him up or anything like that. I think it's going to be a strong game for both Framber and Max Fried. But I think when all's said and done, this might be one of those games that the last 3 innings decide this one, and the bullpen is the major part of that story. So I lean Yankees. -118, -115, you can get it, at different books at this point. Lines opening up. But yeah, the Yankees going to be the play for me. I just think this is going to be one of those top-level, marquee type of matchups where you got 2 aces on the mound, but one has to lose, and I think the home team is going to take the L.
All right, we got Jovan here on the Yankees, -118 here against the Astros. But this Astros hitting lineup has just been struggling here. When they get shut out by the Angels of all teams, haven't given them struggles. But I think the weakness, you look at pitching and hitting right now, I would have to say the Astros bats are a massive concern right now heading into this series.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been several games as of late, and I want to say like the last 10 to 15 games where they got absolutely shut down. To the Angels on Saturday. What was that?
Sunday.
No, actually, that was yesterday. Was that yesterday where they got shut down? Yeah, that was yesterday they got shut down. Then the night before that, they only scored 1 run. So, yeah, they're kind of in a bad way. They got shut down a few series ago, where they didn't score a run in like two of the games in the series. I forget who it was that shut them down. It wasn't a marquee team either. Um, Going back 15 games ago. So let me just look real fast and see when that was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This
that was to Detroit. No, okay. A team that used to not be a marquee team, now they're a top level team themselves. In Detroit, yeah, they had lost 10-0, 1-0. Then before that, and this is going back to August 17th, 12-0 again. They're on the losing side of that. Another game in that same series on the 15th, 7-0. So they're getting blanked a whole hell of a lot in the last, let's say, month. So yeah, their bats aren't in form, and certain situations with their bullpen, they're catching the short end of it. So it just, and on the other side, you're dealing with a Yankees team. They're mashing the ball. They've had games where they've dropped 10, on back-to-back-to-back games. Yeah, this is the Bronx Bombers right here that we know, and I don't love them. I hate them, but for Yankees fans that know and love those guys, so it all spells out for a Yankees victory to me. But they are all nothing proposition. I will say that much.
Yeah, you look at the that series against the Angels. Houston was held to 2 runs or fewer in 3 of the 4 games. In that series there against the Rockies, they were held to an average of 3 runs per game against that Rockies bullpen and starting rotation.
And that, yeah, and that's the Rockies, the worst team in baseball. So that's saying something if you can't hit your way out of wet paper back against those guys.
All right, Jovan here on the Yankees, minus 118 here against the Astros. This one have a start time here of 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs. We're heading into a big week of action, right? College football, NFL. We still have baseball here for a good month and into the postseason, so I'll call it 2 months of baseball left. You can see Jovan, 2,034 units of profit, last 12 months of space, $100 unit wager size. Verify that. Just go to Pick Dogs Premium. See the link in the description. Land here. You'll see Javon's link here amongst the leaders. Click that and get to a sales page. So, Jovan, what you got for sale over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, it'll be some baseball popping off tomorrow. Don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but it'll probably be a 3-pack most likely. I have done some digging already, and I do see a couple that I'm eyeing, and then a third that's looking like some money also. So, and I will say this game might be on worth a shot as far as the total as well. So, in some form or fashion, I might play this game also just to give a little sneak preview on that. But yeah, it'll probably be a 3-pack for Major League Baseball.
That's right. Get on board, Jovan. Over at Pick Dogs Premium, good time to get that 7-day pass early in the week. All the baseball, all the NFL, all the college football. And, of course, the promo code PICK will save you that 15% off. Multi-cap promotion also available, so get that long-term subscription. That's the best value now with all these sports overlapping. All right, Jovan, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you later in the week.
Absolutely. Have a great day. See you on Friday. Let's hit the books.
Let's hit the books indeed. Jovan here on the Drive Thru. And now it's time for my pick. We go to Major League Baseball here for Tuesday. LA Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Clayton Kershaw takes the hill here for LA. Pittsburgh's going to go with an opener, and then we're going to see Bubba Chandler as the bulk pitcher. Of course, Kershaw having a great year this year. Look at his past 5 starts, ERA of 1.88. Pittsburgh bullpen, though, has performed well at home. Pirates, light hitting team against left-handed starters this year, hitting 226. LA not hitting very well on the road, just 243 on the road. And here, LA this year, 29-10 the under on the road, facing a team with a bullpen whip of 1.35 or lower. Pittsburgh, 22-8 to the under, facing an NL starter with a whip of 1.25 or lower. So we're going under here, under 8.5 with the Dodgers and the Pirates. All right, over at Pick Dogs Premium, I've got a best bet up for sale right now. So get on board with me over at Pick Dogs Premium. Having a great year in Major League Baseball, amongst the unit leaders here for the year. And to get my premium plays, click the link in the description. You'll land right on Pick Dogs. You see my name there on the upper right. Click the link. You'll land right here on my capper page. And this is where you'll be able to get my premium plays. You can see my performance here over the past 12 months. There are over 34 units of profit, last 90, last 60, last 30, last 24 hours, doing great. You can also go with my long-term subscriptions as well. Those are great values there because now with baseball, college football, NFL overlapping, no better time to get on board with one of my long-term subscriptions. Use the promo code PICK at checkout and you'll save that 15% off. And we also have a multi-capper promotion so you can match me up with your favorite capper and get signed up. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive Thru. We're back again tomorrow. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. And give us that thumbs up. Really helps us build up our audience. That'll do it for now. I'm Tony T, and we'll talk with you guys tomorrow.